All right, so Obama is going to be giving his State of Confusion speech tonight. Man, I stopped listening to that stuff after the first one. You know, I mean, what can you do with a liar? I mean, they're all pathological liars. He's going to say what needs to be said to try to continue to keep the support and to try to get those that are sitting on the fence to go along with him. But I already have my speech prepared from the Federalist Papers, and rather my response to his speech. And I'm just going to read a few things. Number 39, Madison. If we resort for a criterion to the different principles on which different forms of government are established, we may define a republic to be, or at least may bestow that name upon, a government which derives all its powers directly or indirectly from the great body of the people, and is administered by persons holding their offices during pleasure for a limited period, or during good behavior. It is essential to such a government that it be derived from the great body of the society, not from an inconsiderable portion of a favored class of it. Otherwise, a handful of tyrannical nobles, exercising their oppressions by a delegation of their powers, might aspire to the rank of republicans and claim for their government the honorable title of republic. It is sufficient for such a government that the persons administering it be appointed, either directly or indirectly, by the people, and that they hold their appointments by either of the tenures just specified. Otherwise, every government in the United States, as well as every other popular government that has been or can be well organized or well executed, they would be downgraded from the republican character. According to the Constitution of every state in the Union, some or other of the offices of government are appointed indirectly only by the people. Okay? Move on real quick to the Declaration of Independence and read a few things from here. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among them, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience have shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Then they go and they enumerate the problems that they had with the King of Britain, how he was cutting off a bunch of their liberties. And so they go on and say, in every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms, for us as voting. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attention to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which, would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind enemies in war, in peace, friends. And the last one, to let you know just how deep the rabbit hole goes, just in case you didn't know, all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Federation. But wait a minute. In my study, I found out that the United States is a corporation that was created and in operation before the Revolutionary War. I'm reading from the Masonic government of the United States of America in my edited book. So we have the RESPUBLICA versus SWEERS court case that was conducted in 1779. But the United States was not recognized as an independent country until 1788 to 1789. A bit of the court documents, it says that to the evil example of all others in like case offending, to the great damage of the United States and against the peace and dignity of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is RESPUBLICA versus Cornelius SWEERS in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, April term 1779. So this court case was conducted in April 1779. However, the U.S. Constitution wasn't supposedly ratified until 1788. And America didn't even have a president, Senate, or House of Representatives until 1789. So how in the hell was there even a court case in 1779 referring to the North American landmass as the United States before there was even an officially recognized United States? Ignoramuses would say that America became a country in 1776, but just because you declare yourself to be a free, independent country doesn't mean it is so. The truth of the matter is the wars of 1775 through 1783 were global wars and included France, Spain, and the Netherlands, as well as the United States and Great Britain. The United States was the new kid on the block in global diplomacy in comparison to the more established powers on the earth. A country has to be officially recognized by foreign powers, which Great Britain did not do until the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783. In which the major provisions of this treaty were for Britain to recognize the United States as an established and independent country and to remove the established boundaries so that America could expand. Is your brain able to think past all of the fluoride and aspartame poisoning and the Masonic-influenced educational system to conclude that something is very, very wrong here? For if it were true that we gained our independence in 1775 or 1776, why in 1783 were we still getting permission from Great Britain to do anything? Why did Great Britain have to recognize America's independence before it was officially a nation? That is my answer to Obama's State of Confusion speech that he's going to give tonight. Take care. Peace.